Good morning, everybody. I'd like to call the Brookings County Commission meeting Tuesday, March 19th, 2024 to order. Will please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. First item on the agenda is an invitation for a citizen to schedule time on the commission agenda for an item not listed. There is a 5-minute time limit per person. Anyone wanting to speak during the agenda item must sign in prior to the start of the meeting. No commission action will be taken during this agenda item. Any requested action item may be scheduled for a future meeting date. We have one person signed in this morning, Mr. Rick Weibel. Please come forward, state your name.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Rick Weibel from the City of Elkton. I want to thank you for this time, and I really appreciate that we do the public speaking at the beginning, because as soon as I'm done here, I have to leave to go help out a client. Of course, you know why I'm here, which is about election integrity. Two things. Number one, it's unfortunate that we have kind of a different level of enforcement in our county regarding felony charges for voters that voted more than once. And I understand the situation. It's just unfortunate that one resulted in a conviction and the other one, the time ran out and was eventually dismissed. And so I will let the public ascertain view on that. The second part of this is I've recently been sent a critical piece of evidence from somewhere else in the country using the same voting system that our state is certified for. They wanted my expert analysis as to whether or not the system was tampered with or secure. And I'll just tell you flat out that it does conform to the certificate that is published by the EAC. 4 of our counties also have this same type of hard drive. What I can show you immediately is that I was able to take a forensic copy of that hard drive and actually boot up the electionware system on a non-conforming laptop. That is a complete violation of the certificate, which required that the trusted platform module be enabled. It would be impossible normally for that hard drive to go off of a certified machine that is communicating with its chip to be able to boot up on here. And the other piece of evidence that I have of non-conformity is that you will notice that I have a thumb drive on the side of it. That thumb drive is a BitLocker key that is used to basically allow the security of the laptop to boot up. That is another violation, because what is supposed to happen is it should be on an official Delkin thumb drive that is supposed to be serialized and secure. So I've just given you 2 pieces of evidence. I've also shown another piece of evidence in other states that have published in lawsuits because their auditors and attorney generals and states attorneys did not do due diligence of publishing the manuals online in the court cases. Sheriff Stanek can confirm on page 10 of this manual, the default administrator user and password is publicly available on the internet. And I have that copy here, and I showed Sheriff Stanek page 10, and he can confirm that the password is there and not redacted. The other manuals for the complete system, including the DS200, 450, and 850, all of those passwords are available online as default. We're also aware that when C-Change was in charge of the elections during the last few years, the default password was election 1. And it was universal across all the states that they were operating in. Thankfully, we're using ES&S directly, and they should be changing those passwords. My recommendation is that the password should be different for each of the machines. Don't use the same password across the spectrum so that you can help delay it. The other piece is that you're probably wondering if I can even log in to this laptop to actually get in. Yes, I can, and there it is going in right now. So I have been able to even circumvent their security and default the password to whatever I wanted it to be. And there is the electionware software, And yes, now I have the ability to decrypt the thumb drives of this county and any other county across the United States that's using electionware 6.1.1.1, so that we could view the cast vote records and ballot images. So the fact that now I've just shown you this piece of evidence, I understand that my life is at risk and that the United States does not want this to be known, that this software is available on the dark web, the manuals are publicly available out on the internet in multiple states, and our elections are not secure, and we should be requesting immediate change orders of ES&S to update the antivirus. They have not even updated the security patches of this laptop since 2019, or the antivirus since March 29th, 2019. The 4 counties that use this laptop in our state are 100% at risk. Also, the DS200s, 450s, and 850s have no antivirus on them whatsoever. So if you get a new thumb drive from ES&S and plug it in, even this laptop is unaware of potentially the last 5 years of vulnerabilities that have hit the US. Thank you. Now comes the awkward part of me unplugging this underneath.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 4, approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments, changes? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carried. Item number 5, consent agenda items. I have the minutes, travel and education requests, personnel action notices, cellular authorizations, and human services report. Do I have a motion to approve?
Move approval.
Second.
A motion a second. Any additions or corrections? Hearing none, call the roll.
Vanderwall.
Aye.
Bartley.
Aye.
Krogman.
Aye.
Hostler.
Aye.
Jensen.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item number 6, routine business, approval of the claims. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any additions, corrections, or comments? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Bartley.
Aye.
Krogman.
Aye.
Hostler.
Aye.
Vanderwall.
Aye.
Jensen.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B, department head reports. We start with Bev.
I'm going to report on our 2023 revenue and the business that was generated in our office. The spreadsheets are on the computer or on the screens there. You can follow along. The first column is telling what the amounts refer to. Then it's 2022 and 2023, and then the difference thereof. And I'm going to tell you right away that we went down and a decrease in everything except birth certificates, issuing certified birth certificates. The first line is the transfer fees, and as you probably know and remember, transfer fees are on deeds. They're based on $1 per thousand of the purchase price of the real estate, and there is exempt codes. There's 18 exempt codes for not paying the transfer fee, like no consideration given or between parent and child, different things like that. Our transfer fees in 2023 was $221,202. And on the last column, it's a decrease of $86,598.50 from 2022. The second line are the general fees, and that's the $30 per document for recording real estate documents, and also UCC financing statements, and location notices would be in there, but we didn't have any this year. We haven't had any for several years, actually. But general fees was $120,943. Decrease of decrease of $26,170. The third line are the marriage licenses that we issued. We issued 195 marriage licenses at $40 each for a total of $7,800. And then the certified copies are the birth, death, and marriage certificates that we issue at $15 each. And we issued 2,653 for a total of $39,795. The last on that line are the copies, and that are the physical transfers, the PTs they're called, that Farm Service Agency in Brookings and Farm Credit Service in Watertown purchase from us every month, and also any copies that the title companies purchase. And that was $3,803. And like I indicated before, we had a decrease, and that was a decrease of $115,671.50. Excuse me. The next section is like breakdowns of the totals that I had just given you. The finance, the general fees, $120,549, and the UCC's $394. Then we have the section of the tech fee. The tech fee is of the $30 that we get for recording documents, $5 of that goes to a tech fee. $3 stays here in the county, and $2 is sent to the state. South Dakota Association of County Officials. And then once a year in August, that amount gets divided between all the counties, and everyone gets the same amount. It was $4,186.62 this year. But otherwise, we brought in, I've lost my spot there. There we go. The county had $11,105 or $106 of transfer fee there, or tech fee, I mean, excuse me. Then what is showing there on the screen now is the county share of the birth, marriage, and death certificates that we issue. The county keeps $5 of each birth and death certificate that we issue, and we keep the entire $15 for the marriage certificate. That was $17,295. Then the next section is what we send to the state, and that was $22,500. Local domestic abuse shelter of every marriage license that we issue receives $30 of the $40, and $10 stays with the county. The county share was $1,950, and the abuse shelter got $5,850. And the very last section, I keep track of what actually comes to the county and stays here of what the revenue that we bring in, and that was $357,759. The next page that is showing now is all those numbers that I just gave you. I broke those down into the months of what came in each month, and you can check that over. I like numbers. I like to keep track of what comes and what is brought in by real estate, what is brought in by the vital records. Keep that all separate for the months. And then the last sheet that you have on there is just a comparison of the actual documents that came in 23, and then on the lower half of the page, it's what came in 22, according how many mortgages, deeds, miscellaneous documents we recorded, and then the tech fee by month. And also, I keep track of the pages and the copy fee, because one of our title companies pays us every month for the amount of documents that we bring in. and the page, pays by page. So I keep track of that too. Guess that's it. Is there any questions?
But I would just like to thank you for a very detailed report you give to us every year. Question is, was 22 just an extremely high year, or is it a decrease because, is there reasoning?
Since 2020, we've had very high years. And I think it's just the natural of it going back kind of to what it was prior to 2020. Also, the mortgage rate makes a difference. A lot of people are not just aren't doing refinancing again. Otherwise, you know, when the mortgage rate went down in 2020, 2021, in that area, we had a lot of refinancing, so that brought in a lot of documents with satisfying mortgages that already were in place, and they were refinancing, and then they were, of course, recording possibly several satisfactions and then the new mortgage recording. So that was bringing in more revenue for us. I think it's just kind of getting back to what it was. My projected, when we make out the budget, you know, I projected for 2023, 357,100. So I kind of had the feeling, or just by averaging out what had come in, that it was going to be going a little bit lower. So I think it's just getting back to what it was.
Any other questions or comments?
Just thank you for the report.
Thank you.
Thank you. And weed and pest report.
Good morning.
Morning.
Next year. You have in front of you the 2023 year-end spray report. Just as the townships, we spray townships that sign up with us. The spring run, we brought in $12,125.27. In the fall, we brought in $17,039.28 for a total of $29,164.55. For the record, none of the townships are ever paid up on time. They're all paid this year. I'm so proud of the townships. So thank you to the townships for getting their bills paid on time. County miles covered, I'm sorry, that coverage shouldn't be in there. We spent, we don't bill out the county for county roads, $39,267.51. I just create a bill so we can see on an average year to year, and that fluctuates 32,000 to 39,000 it just throughout the years. And that is for spring and fall run both. DOT Gophers, we receipted money in 2024. Bills were late getting in, and there was issues with the bills, so it put us behind. But $2,177.50 is what was brought in from DOT Gophers. DOT Spray, we brought in through $33,473.31. Also receipted in 2024. Is there any questions on that from any of you commissioners? Nope. Okay, and then I just wanted to let you know about the chemical, how much we had purchased, when we purchased it. Chemical went up this year, so we spent a total of $82,151.10 on chemical. That's kind of been the average. It is up a little bit. 22, we sprayed more 2,4-D. I convinced townships to use Grassland L in 23. A lot of them used it, and the ones that I received back this year are using Grazon PD in 3 because of the Freelex in it. It'll have a better kill, and hopefully in due time we use less chemical. So I guess if you just look, there's some chemicals in there that we did use on county roads for spraying bridge rails, so we didn't have highway guys out there with a weed eater. Weed eating, we just sprayed to kill the vegetation. That seemed to work, and I haven't spoke with Brian, but we'll finish that this year, or continue that program. Is there any questions for me on this chemical report?
Hang on.
No.
Is that it?
That's it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bob?
You may have heard that spring is here, since today's the first day. All indications are next Sunday and Monday, we will have an extremely large precipitation event. And they can't zero it down any tighter than that right now, but just be aware, it looks like maybe an inch tomorrow, which is no big deal. But the weekend storm is starting to shape up to be a humdinger, as the old people say. We issued a red flag warning on March 11th, 2024. I believe they had one fire during that time. A burn pit got out of control. We had a big Homeland Security grant meeting in Brookings on the 14th. Summit Pipeline contacted my office, and on March 14th, we had a meeting with them and went through what our ordinance is and our expectations on that type of thing. And I went on vacation for a couple days last week. We do have severe weather awareness training April 16th at 6:30 over at the East Fire Station. And if people is interested in severe weather awareness training and can't make the April 16th, there's also one online, an online one, which I'll give to you at the next meeting. And there is a Brookings County survey out on the pre-disaster mitigation plan that they're requesting citizens fill out. And if someone's interested in doing that PDM survey, just let my office know. We'll be more than happy to send you the link to it. And that's all I have. Later today, we've got the zoning ordinance review. Any questions?
Question, Bob?
Thank you.
Okay, Lori with finance.
Good morning.
Morning.
Let's see. Instead, we have the clam bucket that we had on the surplus sale back in October. And it was sold to a company up in North Dakota. They never came and got it. They paid $500. Letters were sent, calls were made. They just never came and got it. One of the requirements for the surplus sale, when they bid, they have to remove an item within 10 days. And it is in the rules of the surplus sale. If they don't, they do default their payment. And I've been in touch with Dan on this, and we do have Union County would like to buy that clam bucket from Brookings County. Enough time has passed that I feel we shouldn't go on and sell it to somebody else. This company has been contacted many times, and they just aren't coming around. So I just wanted to get verbal approval from you guys to go ahead and sell it to Union County for the price that it was sold on the surplus sale of $500.
Consensus?
Go ahead and
Fine.
get rid of it. Okay. Just a reminder for citizens on the elderly tax freeze, the deadline is April 1st. There are guidelines, and they can sure call our office, and we can help them through that. Department budget worksheets will be going out. And with taxes being due, just a reminder that citizens can go on to our Brookings County website. On the bottom, there is a tab they can click pay for it with credit card, debit, their accounts, those kind of things. So I think that's it. We have the 2002 audit done. David is here to talk about that today, and the 2023 annual report was done too, so.
You- We do have an action item. Action to approve the following transfers as per budget appropriations for the first quarter of 2024. Item A is from General Fund 101-4-911-4294 to Highway and Bridge Fund 201-3-371-0000 in the amount of $771,250. Do I have a motion to approve?
Move approval. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carried. And item B from General Fund 101-4-911-4290 to Emergency Management Fund 226-3-371-0000 in the amount of $33,493. Do I have a motion to approve?
Second.
A motion and a second. Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We also have some be it noted items. Auditor's account with the treasurer, payroll and additive totals, highway expenditure report, register of deeds statement of fees collected. We're still a couple minutes early for our scheduled agenda item. The auditor's report. Okay. We'll do regular business. Our first item, action to approve resolution number 24-11, a plat of lots 1A and 2A of Cunningham Addition in the north half of the southwest quarter of Section 13, Township 111 North, Range 51 West of the 5th Prime Meridian, Brookings County, South Dakota. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments?
The zoning board heard this at our March 5th meeting and approved it unanimously and sent it to this board with a recommendation that you approve it.
Okay, any questions? Call the roll, please.
Krogman?
Aye.
Hostler?
Aye.
Vanderwall?
Aye.
Bartley?
Aye.
Jensen?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B, action approved resolution number 24-12, a plat of lots 1 and 2, Block 3, Sunset Point Addition, and government lots 3 and 4 of Section 22, Township 112 North, Range 47 West of the 5th Prime Meridian, Brookings County, South Dakota. Do I have a motion approved?
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Any comments?
We also heard this one on March 5th, passed it unanimously with a motion, with a recommendation that your board approve it.
Any questions? Hearing none, call the roll.
Hostler?
Aye.
Vanderwall?
Aye.
Bartley?
Aye.
Krogman?
Aye.
Jensen?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item C, action to approve resolution number 24-13.
Larry, we might want to wait on this one. We are just a minute away from our 9 o'clock. This one might take some discussion, so.
Okay. We have a scheduled agenda item at 9 o'clock. Item A, second reading and public hearing on ordinance 2024-01, an ordinance providing for the amendment of ordinance 2015-03. Do I have a motion approved?
Move approval. Second.
I have a motion and a second. I'll now open the public hearing. I'd ask that any opponents to the ordinance would like to speak? Is there any opponents to the ordinance who would like to speak? Hearing none, any proponents that would like to speak?
Good morning, Commission. I'm Robert Hill, the County Development Director. We've been working on this ordinance for several years now, and this is actually a readoption of the 1997 ordinance, which we also modified in 2015, and now it's 2024. It's time to get everything all in the same format and level, and I've got the majority of the zoning board behind me. If you have any questions, we'll be more than happy to answer them. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Any other proponents?
Chad Ford, current chairman of the Planning and Zoning Board. We put several years worth of time into this, lots of effort. COVID put us back onto things, part of why it took us 7 years. Our board has changed dramatically from the start of this to now. There are 2 members sitting on the board still that were here when it started, and there's been at least 2 board members pass away since this has started. So it's been worked on hard by our board and looking for approval, I guess.
Thank you, Chad. Is there any other proponents that would like to speak? Hearing none, I'd like to close the public hearing and ask for any other comments from the board. Commissioner Barley?
As a member of the Planning Commission for the last few years anyway, I do have to commend the commission for their diligent work on this ordinance. A lot of discussion on a lot of different areas go back several years. They did just look at this and rubber stamp what happened. A lot of discussion, a lot of little changes, a lot of things that were modified to make everybody satisfied that we've got a good ordinance. So I recommend obviously approval of it. I want to thank Chairman Ford. You did a great job ushering us through the process, and the rest of the Planning Commission members for some long hours, over 2 or 3 years to put this together. So a lot of different subcommittee meetings. So thank you for your efforts. I appreciate it.
Any other comments?
Yeah,
Grover?
I would echo Commissioner Bartley's comments. Just want to thank, the Planning Commission is a volunteer board, so there's a lot of hours that go into it, and they don't know everything, and I don't think you can find one person that knows everything, but I think they're researching, they're taking advice from professionals and putting together a good document. Also, community development there, Mr. Hill, and Richard both do a lot of work on this too, so definitely want to get this going, get it updated, and move forward with it. And I just want to thank the zoning board and Bob's group there. Thank you.
I also like to thank the board members, our staff in the zoning department, also the state's attorney's office, along with First District. Thanks to all that had input on this, and I think it's we've finally got a good document. Any other discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Vanderwall,
Aye.
Bartley,
Aye.
Krogman,
Aye.
Hostler,
Aye.
Jensen,
Aye.
motion carries.
Thank you. We go back to item B, audit report. Dave Weidler, auditor in charge, legislative audit.
Good morning.
Morning.
David Weidler, Department of Legislative Audit. Here for the 2021-2022 audit. I believe Lori has given you a bunch of documents from me. The first one I would like to go over has a county letterhead on it. I don't think it's in the agenda though. This is a letter from you, the county, to us, giving a bunch of representations that we accept all the responsibilities in regards to internal controls. All transactions have been recorded. We fulfilled the responsibilities of the engagement letter back in October of 23 when we started the audit. Is there any questions I can answer about that?
Any questions? Or? I have none.
Okay. The first letter in our findings, this is just a letter to us to discuss how we think the audit went, any difficulties we had with management, our evaluation of your accounting practices. I'm sorry, I haven't done a closing conference in a while, so I'm a little rusty, but it's basically just a letter to you discussing how we thought the audit went. Is there any questions about that one?
I don't believe so.
Okay. And then the third one is called the management letter. This one is this one up here in the agenda. This is where we list all of our major findings. The first page discusses the definitions of what we're going to talk about on the second page. We had two material weaknesses noted during the audit. The first one is the preparation of the annual financial reports in accordance with the modified cash basis of accounting resulted in material reporting errors. This is further discussed in finding 2022-1. Essentially, this is just getting the financial transactions reported in the proper way. This is a repeat of a comment from the 2020 audit. Most of it has to do with that carryover from reporting on full GAAP for 2019 and switching to cash in 2020. Is there any questions about that?
Both were noted just because we went to cash basis, correct?
For the most part, a lot of it was just that transition from GAAP to reporting on modified cash. There was some new GASB accounting requirements that came about, and there was some confusion on that, but I've sat down with Jen and we got that figured out. So
Okay.
This should be good going forward on this one. So, any other questions on this finding? Okay. The second finding is the internal controls over tax increment financing districts led to two TIF districts created by the city of Brookings to continue for 2 years beyond when the debt requirements were satisfied. This is discussed in finding number 2022-2. Some background information on that. The two TIFs in question is for the Valley View Edition and the Siler Edition. Both of the revenue bonds that were associated with those TIFs were paid off in 2019. The tax levies for those two TIFs were allowed to continue into the 2020 and 21 payable taxes. The first year was more of the city's fault. They did not give you any notice that the TIFs were satisfied. However, the second year, the payable in 21 taxes, you were aware that the TIFs were satisfied but continued to the levy. This resulted in the taxpayers who reside in the Brookings School District to pay an additional approximately $470,000 in property taxes. Our recommendations are that the county, in conjunction with the cities, work on some internal controls to make sure that this doesn't happen going forward. Is there any questions that I may be able to answer?
Questions from board?
How do we rectify that, or how do we change that? I mean, obviously the TIF's not going to be collected anymore, but how about the previous year's dollars?
Um, I was not given anything like that, in regards to the money. The money's been apportioned out to, obviously the county kept their portion, the city got theirs, the township, East Dakota, and the school all got apportioned out that extra money that was, allowed to collect. I was not given any guidance to give you on how, other than how to prevent this situation from happening in the future.
Any other questions?
It, through discussions with David and Jeff, it kind of appears that this is a problem with TIFs statewide, that the ending part of this TIFs were never really, as like David said, he doesn't really have guidance. It's kind of something that the TIFs were created, have been going along, and just like receiving notification that they are done, nothing was ever set up in the how that should be done. And so now we are addressing that, and we have found different ways to make sure that we know when TIFs are done, and we will be monitoring how many years we've got left, how many dollars are on there, whereas that was just never set up before. So
when TIFs are created, there's a bunch of steps that are laid out that you have to go through, but as far as my understanding, there's no like set of steps that the cities or if the county creates TIF that you're supposed to go through. So that was never set up when the rules and regulations around the TIFs were put in place to allow TIFs to be made. So as Lori said, this is a problem that we're going to see more as more and more TIFs are made and more TIFs close. Brookings County is not the first county that this has happened in. So
I guess my concern was the way it sounded, that the taxpayer paid additional taxes
correct.
over and above what they would normally pay. I was thinking that they pay their normal taxes, it's just apportioned out during that tax and finance district, is that it pays for the infrastructure or whatever it is, and it doesn't go to us right away.
Correct.
Correct.
So the big winner in all of this is, or when this situation happens, is the school district. The school districts over the lifetime of the TIF don't lose out on their tax money.
Right.
Sorry, I'm gathering my thoughts. Some of the TIFs, that missing tax money is made up through state aid from the state. With these two TIFs, they're the one type of TIF where that the school is made whole by spreading an additional tax within the school district on all real property. That's where that extra money came from.
I'm kind of on line where Commissioner Krogman is, worth of 470,000. You said it was spread throughout, not just the district, it was spread throughout all taxpayers?
Within the Brookings County School District to make the Brookings School District whole.
Okay.
So then, if the bond is paid off, so there's obviously not payments to there, those funds just come back to the entities?
Correct. In most of the money got, because there were city TIFs, the money went into the city of Brookings fund within the county and then was portioned back to them. And then the city sent it back to the county in 2021, and then the county apportioned it out to all the taxing entities. So.
Yeah. I guess I'd look for recommendation or an answer from the auditor when you guys figure out what to do about, what happened and what expect in the future.
Is there any other questions for me? Okay. That is all that I have for you. Thank you for your time.
Hearing none, we'll move on to item, let's see where we at here. Item D. C, action approve resolution number 24-13, a resolution adding certain roads to the Brookings County highway system. Do I have a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments? I guess I could read the resolution. Whereas the Aurora Township approved a resolution on February 5th, 2024, and Trenton Township approved a resolution on January 31st, 2024, both requesting that Brookings County take over jurisdiction of a portion of 214th Street, a township road located in both Aurora and Trenton Townships, and add it to the Brookings County highway system. And whereas Aurora and Trenton Township cannot actively maintain the current road due to excessive traffic since the opening of the new Interstate 29 interchange, exit 130, and whereas it appears desirable to add such road to the Brookings County highway system. Therefore, be it resolved that the following roads situated in Aurora, Trenton Township be added to the Brookings County highway system. That portion of 214th Street from 34th Avenue east approximately 2.5 miles to the city limits of the city of Aurora, in Aurora and Trenton Townships, Brookings County, South Dakota. Be it further resolved that the foregoing addition to the Brookings County highway system is conditioned upon the approval of the Department of Transportation as required by South Dakota Codified Law 31-12-2, and that such addition shall be effected upon the approval of the Department of Transportation adopted this day, 19th of March, 2024. Do we have any comments or questions that the board would like to make? Mr. Krogman.
Yeah, I think this is the, well, second step. First step is the townships requesting for us this, and us is passing this resolution. The third step would be the state approving it, I think, do that. So, as I said before, I think this is an important step for us moving forward in our county, I guess, plan of growth and transportation and getting around safely and our transportation system. So I just don't think that the townships have the capabilities and the finances to be able to maintain this chunk of road here, 2.5 miles, that already has and will continue to grow in traffic, and also what we've seen from our for Banner and Associates in our studies. So I think this is a good step. We need to move forward on this, and if we need to add some money to it to improve the road, I think that's well worth it. So,
Yeah. Mr. Bartley?
Yeah, just a quick question on it. It says east approximately 2.5 miles to the city limits of the city of Aurora. I would assume once we have the Department of Transportation involved with this, they will give us exact locations of that, not approximately. Makes me nervous when somebody says approximately. One idea of approximately could be different than somebody else's. So I would hope that we would have those numbers in the resolution or provided for with the resolution with Department of Transportation's approval.
It's to the city limits. I don't have, yeah, I mean, I drafted the resolution. I don't have the exact location of the city of Aurora city limits.
Understanding, I understand that. Brian's not here to ask, but I'm going to assume that an application to the Department of Transportation will include the exact measurements of this.
It is at the half-mile line that it's located. I don't know the exact address that would be put at that point.
As long as that's covered, I'm satisfied. We need to move forward.
Just for public information, the county does have roughly 400 miles of county road. This stretch of gravel road will be added to the county has 260 miles of hard surface road and about 140 miles of gravel road. This will be added as a gravel road, maintained as a gravel road. In the future here, I believe with Brian's input, we'll be possibly looking at some possible speed limits and some dust control possibly, and hopefully we can improve some of the structures there also as we move forward with our looking at upgrading this road to a hard surface road, which is going to be a timely process and may take a few years, but we intend, if we do take it over, to make it as safe and safe traveled road and make it as safe as possible for the traveling public. Any other comments? Call the roll, please.
Bartley?
Aye.
Krogman?
Aye.
Hostler?
Aye.
Vanderwall?
Aye.
Jensen?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 9, Commission Department Directors Report.
We missed item D.
Did I miss one?
Yeah, under regular
Oh,
business,
sorry.
item D.
Items D, action to approve agreement number 24-42, a State of South Dakota Department of Transportation Joint Powers Agreement to provide the pavement marking of county roads within the Brookings County. Do I have a motion to approve?
So, second.
A motion and a second. Any comments?
The DOT allocated $500,000 for counties for pavement markings to assist with paying for that. Our Brookings County's portion is $17,432.37.
Okay. Any other questions? Call the roll, please.
Krogman?
Aye.
Hostler?
Aye.
Vanderwall?
Aye.
Bartley?
Aye.
Jensen?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Now, item number 9, I believe. Commission Department Directors
Yes.
Report.
The February VSO, my staff report, 148 appointments that they had, 6 outreach events, 2 conferences, and then 9 DAV van rides. February general fund surplus, we're at 21%. That's above the 10-year average of 14.9%. We can continue to track that as the year goes on. There is some additional information with my report too on the Walk a Mile in Her Shoes event on May 1st. Please, take a look at that. If you have some thoughts and ideas, I can bring that back as it gets a little bit closer. We're a little ways out here yet, but I'm thinking probably at the next commission meeting, we'll have to make some decisions on what, if anything, the commission would like to do. I think there's opportunities to do a photo of the commission wearing the red heels. I believe they are going to do a walk again as well. So kind of keep that in your mind, and if you have some ideas on how the commission would like to participate, I'll be asking probably at the next commission meeting to let me know. That is May 1st. As a be it noted item, you'll see this as an action item on the next agenda, but we do have a request to fill vacancy. The job is being posted right now for the office manager out at the highway department. So you'll see that request to fill vacancy come as an action item on the next agenda, but wanted to let you all know that that job is currently being posted so we can move forward a little bit quicker on that, so we're not waiting another couple weeks for another commission meeting. Other than that, it's just some upcoming dates that we have. Employee bowling night is this Friday. Visit with Michelle or let me know if you plan to attend. I can RSVP for you. March 29th, Friday, next Friday, offices do close at noon for the Good Friday holiday. The Taste of Brookings annual celebration is April 4th. I think we do have everyone that can go. I think I've already got RSVPs done for that, as well as the First Bank and Trust Focus 2024 event. I think I've either you did yourself or I've RSVP'd for a couple of you for that. We did get an invitation for the Brookings County annual feed with the Brookings Fire Department on April 30th. It's a Tuesday at 5:30 at the East Fire Hall. And then again, the May 1st, a little ways out here, that Walk a Mile in Our Shoes fundraiser on, that's coming up. Other than that, that's all I have, unless you have questions for me.
Any questions? Hearing none, State's Attorney's Office report. Okay, item number 11, Commissioner's report. Commissioner Vanderwall.
Thank you. On Tuesday afternoon, March the 5th, I had a meeting, and then this past Saturday, the 16th, I attended the monthly Republican meeting here in Brookings. And that's my report. Thank you.
On May 5th, was well attended. Thank you for putting that together for us, Misty. It was a good program. Thank you, Bob. He left for his report and Marty's report. Kind of planning that evening on March 5th, we approved those plats tonight. 15th, attended the 10-county meeting. We were in Huron. I think all of us were able to attend, except for one. And we succeeded in electing me to the South Dakota County Commission's organization as the Sioux Valley representative. So I'll be doing that. Pipeline meeting on the 14th with Bob and the emergency management team to discuss our ordinance with the pipeline people. And that completes my meeting agenda.
Commissioner Krogman.
Yeah, on the 13th, I attended the 10-county meeting in Huron, and then on the Growth Partnership small committee meeting to review a lease. Otherwise, that's it.
Commissioner Osler.
Mine was pretty short. On the 13th, I as well attended that 10-county.
Okay, on the 5th, I also, on the 6th, I had a Conservation District meeting. Ready to go for the year out there, hiring some people. There is a couple board openings. I don't know if the filing date is passed on that or not, but there's a couple board openings. On the 13th, I also went out to the 10-county meeting in Huron. On the 14th, I had a pandemic planning committee meeting, pod meeting out at the East Fire Station. And that concludes my meetings that I attended. We do not have any executive session. I look for a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. And all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. We are adjourned.